These are percentage difference questions, and this is the classwork, and I'm going to look at the 4 example questions with you. So in this first question, we've got Bill and Ben. They each bought an identical flower pot from the same shop. Bill bought his on Saturday when there was 35% off, and Ben bought his the following week when it was reduced by 45%. So in this question, I often ask children who paid less for it. And they'll often tell me that the person who paid less for it was Bill. Because 35% as a number is less than 45. And Ben paid more for it because 45 is a bigger number. But that's not the case. If you bought something for £100 and you got 35% off, that would mean you only got £35 off. So you'd have paid £65. If you got 45% off, that means you got £45 off. You paid £55. You get more money off. So that's what that percentage bit is. So the first thing we do with this question is we look at the difference in their percentages. So we know that the difference between 35 and 45 is 10%. So 45% take away 35% is 10%. We also know that that 10% equates to £2.50 because that was the difference in money. We're looking for the original price. So if I lay that out in the form of an arrow diagram, we know that 10% is £2.50. We want to get to 100% because that is the percentage of the original value, the original price. So what do you do? What do you do to 10% to get to 100%? You times it by 10. You do that on the other side. £2.50 times 10 is £25. So the answer to that first question is £25. That was the original price of the pot. Okay, here we've got Julian and Poppy, and they went to the shop and they bought a toy dragon. This is an interesting one because the difference is only 5%. 5% is 55p. How do you get from 5% to 100%? You times it by 20, you do that on the other side, £11. So the original price of the toy dragon was £11. This one here, we've got Mark and Stacey, and they went to the shop and they bought a cake, and one had 50% off and one had 25% off. So the difference is 25%. 25% equates to 20p, and that's not something I've worked out. That's what I'm using from the question. So how do we get to 100% from 25%? You times that by 4, and then you do that to the amount of money, which is 80p. Now this last one is very interesting. It's not quite as straightforward as the last 3 questions. So the difference in percentage is 15%. So 15% is 60p. But because 15 will not go into 100 exactly, we've got to take an interim step. We've got to do something, unpack the 15% a little bit. So if we divide 15 by 3, we get 5%. And now this is nice and straightforward because 5% does go into 100 20 times. So we multiply that by 20 over on the other side, and the original price of the pencil case was £4. And that's how you do these questions.